So in today's video, we're going to be ranking all the game passes in BLOX Fruits. As you guys would already know, game passes cost you guys Robux and are actually very powerful in the game. For example, you guys can get the 2x money game pass, which will literally double your belly earnings for just only 450 Robux. And as you guys can see, there are a few other options as well, so we're going to be ranking all of these and figuring out which ones are actually worth the Robux. Also, before we continue, I just want to mention something, and that is you guys can also get all of these game passes by trading, and I think spending Robux on these is very stupid. So if you guys have some extra time and want to get the game passes for free, then you guys can simply just trade for them rather than spending Robux on them. But yes, with that being said, I think let's move on into the tier list. So here is the tier list, and down here are all the game passes you guys can actually buy. So the first game pass we have is the change race game pass, and this one is worth 90 Robux. This changes your race from like human to rabbit or angel and stuff like that. Basically just changes your race and is worth 90 Robux. The reason I'm going to be putting this at the bad tier is because you can actually do this in game with only fragments. You guys would need to spend 3000 fragments and you guys can change your race randomly like this game pass actually does. So there is literally no point of you spending any Robux when you guys can spend fragments and get the same thing. So that's why it's gonna be going in the bad tier. Next up, we have the 2x boss drops, and personally I would say one of the best game passes in the whole game. Because as you guys would know, in BLOX Fruits there are some accessories or swords or just items in general which are very hard to obtain, such as the dark coat or some swords like the spiky trident and stuff like that, which are extremely hard to obtain because you guys would have to kill some hard bosses a couple of times to actually obtain them. And they have like really low drop chances, like 1% or 5% and stuff like that. And by having this game pass, it makes it very easy for you guys to get these drops, and basically makes the experience a lot more faster and easier. And also one thing about this game pass that a lot of you guys don't know is, and that is that whenever you guys are fighting the elite bosses like the DeAndre boss and stuff like that, they have like a really small chance of dropping the God's Chalice, right? So whenever you guys fight them with this game pass, it is literally doubled. So you guys will get the God's Chalice very easily with having this game pass. So yeah, keep in mind it literally works on every single item. So yeah, definitely worth the 350 Robux. But still, I would recommend you guys to trade rather than to spend the Robux. Next up, we have the 2x money, one of the best game passes as well, because this game pass literally doubles your money earnings, which is pretty hard to get when you guys are max, because you usually do not grind NPCs or farm levels and stuff like that when you guys are max. So there's literally no way for you to earn any money. And if you had this game pass, you would have double the money that you would normally have. And whenever a new update comes out, you guys can go grind your level to max, and then you guys will have a lots of money again. So yeah, it's a pretty good game pass, but it is 450 Robux. So yes, I would still recommend you guys to trade for it rather than to spend the Robux. But yeah, it is actually a pretty good one. Next up, we have the Respawn Bosses game pass. You can buy this game pass unlimited amount of times, and it only costs you 50 Robux. So whenever you guys are grinding like a boss or something and you guys want it to spawn back, you guys can simply just spend 50 Robux and get it back. Yeah, it has a good purpose, but it's just basically wasting 50 Robux. Instead of buying this and wasting your Robux, you can just simply hop servers and grind that way. So that's why I wouldn't recommend anybody to use this game pass, as you can just wait for the 20-30 minutes cooldown. But yes, for the YouTubers and all the people who like to farm very fast and get items super quickly, they tend to use this game pass a lot. Next up, we have probably the best and the most useful game pass in the game, known as the 2x mastery. A very solid game pass. For only 450 Robux, all the mastery will be doubled. So if you guys are grinding your devil fruits mastery, you will earn double the mastery. If you guys are farming your sword, you guys will get double the sword mastery, and for all the other stuff as well. And it is very useful and helpful when you guys are going for some stronger items in the game. For example, the superhuman fighting style, it requires you to have 300 mastery in basically all the tier 1 fighting styles, which is pretty hard to do and very time consuming. But if you guys have the 2 times mastery, it is 2 times faster, which is very useful. Same goes with the god human fighting style, that takes you a while to get, and you can speed up that process with this game pass. And there are a lot of other examples in which it is very useful. So I would definitely say that if you guys are willing to spend Robux and you can only afford like one game pass, I would definitely recommend you guys to go for the 2 times mastery, as it is probably the best game pass in the game. Next up we have the Dark Blade. This is actually the first game pass which gives you an item in game, like literally an item in the game, and this is worth 1200 Robux, which is a lot of Robux, and in 1300 Robux you guys can get all 3 of these. So yeah, I would say that it goes in the good tier, but the sword that it gives is actually pretty strong. It is a very famous sword from the anime. It is Mihawk's sword and actually has some good damage and good combos, but not like all the other Roblox games. Whenever you spend Robux in them, you just literally become overpowered and nobody can like compete against you. But in BLOX Fruits, buying this sword will not give you like a huge advantage over others. There are still swords which I think and I know are better than the Dark Blade, even though they are just free or you can just obtain them by killing a boss. So that's why I think spending 1200 Robux on Dark Blade is a waste of Robux. But if you guys are just getting it by trading or something, like you guys are trading your leopard fruit or 2 of your leopard fruits for 1 Dark Blade, that is 100% worth it. So yeah, I would say it is worth it, but if it was a bit more cheaper, you know, but like for the price that it is right now, 1200 Robux, I think it should go in the good tier. Next up we have a very unique game pass, which is the most expensivest game pass as well, known as the Fruit Notifier. This one is worth 2700 Robux. I think that is more than $30 worth of Robux, and to be honest, for the benefit it gives, it doesn't deserve to be in the best tier. Yes, I know it's very powerful and helpful, but I think it just doesn't deserve to be the best. The only thing which this devil fruit does is locate where devil fruits spawn. So as you guys would know, in BLOX Fruits, every 1 hour a devil fruit spawns and despawns after 15 minutes. So whenever it spawns, it will literally take you to that place and tell you where it is. Like it will locate the devil fruit for you, which is good and all and allows you to get free devil fruits. But the thing is, like, is it really worth the 2700 Robux? In my opinion, I think that's a bit too much for it. Like that's too much for it. In this amount of Robux, I think you can get like all the best tier game passes and still would have a lot of Robux left. So I would definitely not buy it. Next up we have one of my most favorite game passes in the game, Fruit Storage. And basically, as you guys would know, you guys can store your devil fruits, and if you have this game pass, then you can store 2 of each devil fruit. Like for example, a normal person can hold 1 spike fruit, 1 bomb fruit, 1 leopard fruit, 1 doe fruit, and so on. And if he had this game pass, then he could own 2 bombs, 2 spikes, 2 leopards, 2 does, stuff like that. And the best part is you guys can again buy this game pass. So for example, a person can buy like 10 of these. He can store like 11 of each fruit, which is just insane and very useful for trading, because when you guys get into the bigger trades, a lot of the people you are trading with have the same fruits as you, so it's a bit difficult to trade them if you don't have this game pass. So a very useful game pass, to be honest, one of the best ones out there. Next we have the Stat Reset, probably one of the most useless game passes in the game, because there are like a ton of different codes which you can use to reset your stats, and if you have ran out of your codes, you guys can simply just spend like 2500 fragments and reset your stats. Why would you spend like 75 Robux? Next up we have the last game pass of the video, and this is the Fast Boats. A pretty good game pass, but I think which has like one of the most lowest usability in the game. It gives you a boat which is known as the Enforcer boat. Yes, I know it is a very fast boat. Like if you guys are in the first sea, it is decently fast. If you guys are in the second sea, it gets a bit more faster, and if you guys are in the third sea, it is the fastest way to travel across the map. So yes, it is very strong and good and useful, but I think it's not worth the 350 Robux. So I would definitely recommend you guys to have all the game passes. Like you guys can get them really easily by trading, but if you guys are spending Robux and trying to get them, I would definitely recommend only to get the game passes at the best tier, because they are the most useful and the ones which are actually worth your money. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.